Hello students, in our last lecture we studied about AC voltage applied to a series LCR circuit. In this we studied about phasor diagram solution of this LCR AC circuit, as well as we studied about analytical solution. Now in our today's lecture we will study about topic number 7.6.3, resonance. Now students, this phenomena of resonance is very important in LCR series circuit. It is one of the important characteristics of LCR AC circuit. Students, we studied about resonance, mechanical resonance in standard 11. In the chapter of oscillations, we studied about resonance. Now students, we know that a simple pendulum has its natural frequency of oscillations. So it will oscillate with its natural frequency. But if an external force is applied to this simple pendulum, which has the frequency equal to the natural frequency, then what will happen? The amplitude of oscillation of this simple pendulum will increase, and that phenomena is called a resonance. When the natural frequency of oscillations becomes equal to the external frequency which is applied, then the resonance occurs. So here also, when a system is driven by an energy source at a frequency that is equal to or near the natural frequency, the amplitude of oscillation becomes large. This phenomena is known as resonance. So here also, for this LCR AC circuit, this circuit has its natural frequency, and if we apply an energy to this circuit which has the same frequency or nearly equal frequency, then even this circuit gets resonated, means resonance occurs even this circuit. Now students, we know that for an LCR AC circuit, maximum current is given by this formula, Vm upon Z, where Z is root of R square plus Xc minus XL square. Here there will be a square, it is printing mistake. This is the value of Z, where this Xc is nothing but it is 1 upon omega c, and XL is equal to omega L. Now if the frequency, that is omega, if this frequency is varied or tuned in such a way that this Xc and XL becomes equal. Students, from this formula you can see, from the formula of Xc and XL, you can see that if I'll increase this omega, then Xc will decrease because they are inversely proportional. So with the increase in omega, Xc decreases, but this XL will increase. So in that case, what happens? We can get one frequency for which both this quantity, that is Xc and XL, becomes equal. So suppose we have applied such frequency and we got Xc is equal to XL. So now applying this condition in equation number 1, if Xc is equal to XL and there is minus in between, this term will become 0. So what will remain? Root of r square in the denominator, but root of r square is r. So this Im will become Vm upon r. So now students, as I said, this z will become equal to r because that term relating to omega c minus omega L will become 0. So this impedance is equal to that of the resistor or the resistance. In that case, what will happen? This frequency for which this condition is obtained, that frequency is known as resonant frequency, because in that case the impedance becomes minimum, which is equal to R. And so when Z decreases, value of Im will increase. Now when Xc is equal to XL, 1 upon omega naught C is equal to omega naught L. See now this frequency is resonant frequency, and we have simply kept the value of Xc and XL. Now making the subject omega naught, we will get omega naught square is equal to 1 upon LC. Taking square root on both the side, we will get omega naught is equal to 1 upon root of LC. Now students, at resonant frequency, the current amplitude becomes maximum. As I said, this value will increase, and so now this Im is equal to Vm upon R, because Z is equal to R. So in place of Z, now we have kept R. Students, you can see this graph of omega versus Im, that is maximum value of current. When a small value of resistor is used and the frequency is increased from 0, then we will get this type of curve. At resonant frequency, this value becomes maximum, that is value of current will become maximum, but once again with increase in the frequency, it will not increase, now it will start decreasing. Now if we choose the greater value of resistor in the circuit without changing L and R, then what will happen? This peak value of the current will increase, but the resonance will occur at the same frequency. You can see with the change in the value of R, the peak value of current, that is maximum value of the current, goes on increasing, but it is obtained at this frequency only, which is resonant frequency. So here for two different value of R, the curves are shown in this figure. Now resonant circuit is used to select or to tune the desired frequency out of many frequencies incident on the antenna of radio or TV. Students, to obtain the different stations of radio or to get different channels on TV, we need to tune the channels. So that tuning is due to resonance of this type of circuit. In order to change desired frequency, the arrangement is made to change either L or C or both. That means to obtain this desired value of frequency, we can change only L also. We can change only C also to change the frequency, or we can change both to get this frequency. But students, generally it is easy to change the value of capacitor, and so in the gadgets or the instruments, the system is made to change the value of C so that the frequency can be changed. Once again, look at this formula. Frequency depends on both L and C, and that's why if you simply change the value of L, then also you can change the frequency. By changing only C, you can change the value of frequency, or you can change both L and C to get this frequency. Now students, here we should note one thing, that the resonance cannot be obtained for only RL or for only RC circuit. Means both L and C should be compulsory present in the circuit. Now about the sharpness of resonance. Sharpness means, you can see the figure, you can see this curve. This curve has a sharpness. So here there is an importance of this sharpness of the curve. Now students, the amplitude of the current in the series LCR circuit is given by this formula, which we have written earlier also, where Z is nothing but it is this value, where this omega L is nothing but it is XL, and 1 upon omega C is nothing but it is XC. So it is XL minus XC. Now students, when there is resonance, the frequency is equal to omega naught, that is resonance frequency, and in that case what will happen, this Z will become R, because this term will equals to 0, and so Z becomes R, and so this value becomes maximum, and that's why it is written as Im maximum. Now suppose we change a value of omega for which Im is equal to 1 upon root 2 times this value. Suppose now we are going to change the frequency for which we get Im equals to how much, 1 upon root 2 times of this value. In that case what will happen, the power dissipated by the circuit becomes half, because for this value the power is maximum, but when we divide it by root 2, the power dissipated by the circuit becomes half of its maximum value. You can see in this figure that this is the maximum value. Im maximum. But when we divide this value by root 2, this value will decrease and we will get this point now. Earlier the maximum value has this point, but when we divide it by root 2 to get the half power, we get this point. And you can see when we draw this horizontal line, this line will cut this graph into 2 points. Means it is clear that this value, that is the half power value, is obtained for omega 2 also and for omega 1 also. Maximum value is obtained at resonance, but this value is obtained for two frequencies, omega 1 as well as omega 2, and the difference between this omega 1 and omega 2, that is this much difference, is known as bandwidth of the frequency or the circuit. So now students, from this graph it is clear that this omega 1 is equal to omega naught plus delta omega. What is delta omega? Delta omega is this value. This is delta omega. Even this is also delta omega. So if I want to write omega 1, then omega 1 is equal to, from here to here, that is omega naught plus delta omega. I hope you understood this. So I have written omega 1 is equal to omega naught plus delta omega from this figure. Similarly, what is omega 2? So omega 2 is omega naught minus this value will give you omega 2, and this is nothing but it is delta omega. And so omega 2 is omega naught minus delta omega. This we can call as upper frequency and this we can call as lower frequency, and the difference of these two is nothing but it is 2 delta omega. So students, if we will calculate omega 1 minus omega 2, that is this value minus this value, then you will get this difference equal to 2 delta omega, which is called the bandwidth of the circuit. Now the quantity omega naught upon 2 delta omega, that is ratio of resonant frequency to the bandwidth, is the measure of the sharpness of the resonance curve, and this is known as Q factor. Means sharpness of this resonance is given by Q factor. So we can write Q is equal to ratio of omega naught upon 2 delta omega. Now for omega equal to omega 1, that is when the frequency becomes equal to this frequency, that is omega 1, we get Im is equal to Vm upon root of r square plus omega 1l minus 1 upon omega 1c square. So students, this is not new equation for you. Simply in place of omega we have kept omega 1. You can see from the graph which value we are putting. We are putting omega 1. So now using equation number 2 in 3, once again let me show you that two equations. Using equation 2 in 3 means this equation is put in this equation. We get, just look here, what we are going to do, this Im maximum, which is Vm upon R. So in place of this Im maximum, we will put Vm upon R, and we will get Im is equal to Vm upon root 2R. Once again, let me show you. When we put this value of Im maximum, see this is already 1 upon root 2. Now in place of this Im maximum, we are going to put this. So it is Vm upon R. So what we obtained? We obtained Im is equal to Vm upon root 2R. So we got this equation. Now just compare equation number 6 and 7. This is our equation number 7. We have to compare this with equation number 6. That is, this equation and this equations are compared. See, on left hand side it is Im. So this should be equal to this. But here in numerator there is Vm. So simply we can compare the denominators because numerator is same. So we can get this value, root of r square plus omega 1 L minus 1 upon omega 1 C square is equal to root 2R, and that I have written here. Then simplifying this, we will get omega 1 L minus 1 upon omega 1 C is equal to R. So you have to do one more step and then you will get this. First of all, what you have to do? You have to square on both the side so that this square root will be removed, and then you will get this equation. So students, this much mathematics you have to do on your own. It is simple. Then what is omega 1? It is omega naught plus delta omega. So putting this value of omega 1 here as well as here, we get this step. Value of omega 1 is there in equation number 4. Then next step, we have simply taken out omega naught common. Already L is outside. We are taking out omega naught also. So we will get this term. Same thing we have done here also. We have taken omega naught outside. We get this term. Then next, we know that omega naught square is equal to 1 upon LC. And so we get this. Bring 1 omega naught towards right side and this L towards left side. You will get this equation. Let me show you. This equation can be written as omega naught into omega naught, because it is square of that, is equal to 1 upon LC. Now just bring this L here and 1 omega naught here. You will get this. So now in place of 1 upon omega naught c is equal to omega naught L. We get this because in place of this 1 upon omega naught c we have put omega naught L. So in this second term this is the change. Also this term which is in the bracket is now written here in the numerator, so we can write this as 1 plus delta omega upon omega naught raised to minus 1. So I have written this term in the power of minus 1. Students, we know that if it is 1 upon x, then we can write this as x raised to minus 1. So same thing is done for this. Now for this value to be very less than 1, that means this value is very small. So as this value, that is delta omega upon omega naught, is very small, we can approximate this term, that is this, which is equal to 1 minus delta omega upon omega. Students, here we have applied binomial theorem. So what happens? For this condition, we can simply bring this power here. We have to multiply this minus 1 here. So you will get this. Hence, this equation will become this. Only this second term is changed. This term is as it is. Now, omega naught L is common, that is taken out. What is remain inside the bracket? This term and this term. And after opening the brackets and simplifying this, we'll get 2 delta omega upon omega naught. So simple mathematics is there. Simply you have to take this common and then simplify the remaining term. Now omega naught will cancel, and if you make delta omega subject, then you will get delta omega is equal to r upon 2l. So here we obtain the value of delta omega by all this process. Now sharpness of the resonance, we know that there is delta omega. So now we are going to put the value of delta omega from this obtained equation, that is this. Now we know that sharpness is omega naught upon 2 delta omega. Putting value of delta omega, that is this, here, we will get next term, that is this term. Here this 2 will cancel and this L will move in the numerator, and so we will get Q is equal to omega naught L upon R. Once again, what is Q? Q is a quality factor. Here this formula is in terms of L. We can get this same formula of Q in terms of C also by just using this condition. Then we can get this value of Q in terms of both L and C. Once again by using this formula here. So just apply this in this formula to get this formula for Q as well as this formula for Q. Now students, it is clear that larger the value of Q, the smaller is the value of bandwidth and sharper is the resonance curve. Means what does this Q value indicate? If this Q value is larger, the resonance curve will be more sharp. Now finally, if the Q factor is large, the circuit is more selective. So students, it is clear that if the curve is sharp, then its bandwidth will be less, and this type of circuit is preferred for resonance. Now example number 7.6. Now example number 7.6 for an RC circuit in series. Students, here only R and C are connected in series with the AC source. There is no inductor connected to the circuit. Value of resistor is 200 ohm. Value of capacitor is given 15 microfarad and RMS value of voltage is 220 volt. Frequency of AC is 50 Hz. Here we have to calculate the RMS value of current, that is capital I. Also voltage across resistor and the voltage across capacitor, that is to be calculated. And here we have to answer this question, that is VR plus VC greater than V, and we have to give the reason why. So now let us start with A. We know that impedance Z is equal to root of R square plus X square. Students, as there is no inductor connected, only Xc will be there, so it is X square. Let us give this equation number 1. Now first we will find Xc. Now we know that Xc is 1 upon omega c, where this omega is equal to 2 pi nu. Now just put the given values here. 2, then this pi is 3.14, frequency is 50 Hz, and the value of C which is given. After calculation, you will get 212.3 ohm, that is value of Xc. Students, when you put the value of capacitor, see here it is micro means 10 raised to minus 6, so you have to take care about that. Now we obtain this Xc, R is given, Xc is obtained, so just put this value of R and Xc in this equation number 1. You will get the value of Z, which is equal to 291.67 ohm. So impedance is obtained. Now hence I is equal to V by impedance. V is 220 and impedance Z is obtained 291.67. So I have written here 291.7 up to 1 decimal place. After calculating, we will get current I is equal to 0.754 ampere. So current is obtained. Now current is obtained, so we can find the voltage across resistor. VR is equal to IR according to Ohm's law. I is this and R is 200. Calculating this, we'll get voltage across resistor as 151 volt approximately. Similarly, VC is equal to I into XC. Value of I is this and XC we obtained 212. So voltage across capacitor will be approximately 160 volt. Now students, the algebraic summation of these two quantity, that is VR plus VC, will give us 311 volt. That is 151 plus 160 will give you 311 volt, and which is greater than the source voltage, means this is not possible. So why it happens so? It is because we know that here voltage across resistor and voltage across capacitor, they have some phase difference, and we have studied earlier that the phase difference between VR and VC is pi by 2. So actually we have to add this as well as this in the form of phasor having phase difference pi by 2. So if we apply the phasor addition method, as the angle between VR and VC is 90, so using that Pythagoras theorem, VR plus C will be equal to root of VR square plus VC square, because angle between them is 90. So if we consider this as VR and this as VC, then resultant voltage will be obtained by this formula. And if you put the values and calculate this, you will get this as approximately equal to 220 watt, which is equal to the source voltage. So students, I hope you understood this example as well as the resonance. If you have any doubt, you can ask me.